Hello, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. How are you doing? So, can somebody be honest with me? Were my mother, father, and stepfather sadists who got off from my pain and suffering? Were they getting off from torturing me? I think they were. I think they were abusing me sadistically. Um, you know, I don't know. Just toggle the emotional switch to off. They say they never had nefarious intentions with the pharmacological medications they got prescribed. So just accept that. Accept they never had nefarious intentions. I'm still doing this because I think it's fucking reality, and they just don't want to take accountability. Somebody's like, "You're still doing this? You're still protesting?" I think they're fucking lying to me. That's why I'm still doing this. I think they had nefarious intent. But all right, just accept. You know, my support system loves me. They never had nefarious intentions. I guess that's what it is. You know. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go over some artwork here, and I think it kind of illustrates the point. You know, I say my parents are the reason I'm a failure at 38 years old, not me. And Dr. Natural says, your parents have done everything they can do to get you better. You need to get independent. You can't blame them for not having a job. That's your responsibility to get employed. Once you're employed for a while, you can drop your dreaded self descriptor, man child. I say, my parents are forcing me to take psychiatric medications. He says, that's a stipulation by your parents because you quite reliably wind up back on the ward and get the shot. I think they can legally oblige you to stay on the shot, especially if you are non compliant. Off the meds, your chances at employment or engagement in social groups would be close to zero. I say, don't nod your head or give me hints. Tell me. If there was a conspiracy by my parents to pharmacologically abuse me for revenge, say it to my face. They say this is called thought broadcasting and ideas of reference delusions. There is no difficult conversation to have. There is nothing to take accountability for. And the last one is called Six Star. It's like I'm dying. It's like I've got the plague. Help me. Illness, time expired. I was yellow, now I'm green. Well, that's some artwork, clearly. And I'm going to go over some more artwork here. Oh, actually, I'm going to go over a photograph. This is a photograph of me on my bed. I think it looks pretty sexy. It looks pretty sexy. All right. So that's enough of this sexy photograph of me. All right. So I saw a friend yesterday. She came over to my house. We did artwork together. We hung out together. It was a fun day. You know, overall, she's a good buddy. I'm seeing another friend today for Buffalo Wild Wings, which is gonna be fun. And I'm going bowling tomorrow. I'm going to be starting the SOAR program Monday. Uh, I mean, some people say stick with the SOAR program, make sure it happens, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts for. But I plan to at least go there Monday. I plan to at least go to the SOAR program Monday. At least give it a shot one day. Somehow I don't think it's going to last, but we'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I worked out at the gym today. I mean, anybody else feel this way? And I'm going to just throw this out there. You feel like you're the elephant in the room. You feel like everybody is focused on you. You feel like everybody is paying attention to you. Everybody is disturbed by you, or doesn't like you, or is fascinated by you in some way, or is sympathetic. And you feel like, everybody is just focused on you, like you're the center of the universe. Anybody feel like that? Like you're the real center of attention, even though there's lots of people in the gym. I feel like I want to say, stop looking at me. Leave me the hell alone. I'm just going to the gym to work out, You stop focusing on me. I want to say, like, am I that fascinated? It's not just the gym. It's the supermarket, too. I feel like everybody is just looking at me, paying attention to me like I'm the elephant in the room. Everywhere I go, I feel like people are, does anybody else feel this way? Does anybody else feel like, some people say this is thought broadcasting, ideas of reference. Nobody cares about you. You're under the radar. You're an anonymity. Nobody wants to get to know you. Nobody is focused on you. Nobody is reading your thoughts. This is delusions, psychosis. Nobody could care. Everybody couldn't care less you exist, Andrew. So, I think that's something to keep in mind here. Nobody cares I exist, and that's not a bad thing. It's comfortable anonymity. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. Nobody gives a shit I exist. That's the reality. But I feel like everybody's focused on me, either in a sympathetic way or a critical way or a disturbed way. I feel like every room I go into, everybody's just like focused on me, zeroed in on me, looking at me, like not literally pointing at me, but I feel like everybody's pointing at me, metaphorically. I want to say, leave me the fuck alone, I'm not a celebrity. Stop gang stalking me. Stop conspiring against me. Just let me go to my fucking mental health groups. And obviously I want to be successful. I want to make money, but let me be like, I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. Somebody says there's medication for that. Somebody says antipsychotics might help with that. Nobody's focused on you. I really feel like, everybody is, but maybe I'm embellishing it kind of, even if people are looking over at me and disturbed, like I'm the elephant in the room, they're not thinking really in depth about me. They're just like, ooh, this guy's a little unstable and off. That's probably what they're thinking. There's no dramatic, things going on. Somebody says, no, you're just living in a psychotic state of mind, Andrew. I don't know. I hear you. I hear that this is psychosis and delusions. But I really feel like, let's take the gym, for example. I really feel like literally everybody is just looking over at me and is focused on me. I literally feel that way, And the same goes for the supermarket. Management, the cashiers, the employees. I feel like everybody's just focused on me, my energy. I really feel like everybody's just they want me out of the gym. They want me out of the supermarket. I feel like they're just. I don't think this is as delusional as you think it is. I know on paper it sounds like, oh, this is just delusions. Nobody's focused on Andrew, but I really think people are. And maybe they're not, maybe they're not rich, famous, or interesting people scouting me or gang stalkers scouting me, but they're definitely, they definitely see my energy. They definitely see my demeanor. They definitely, and they're unsettled by me, like I'm the elephant, So he says, what does that say about your energy and demeanor? That it's really intense. It says that everybody is just focused. They're paying attention to me. They're like, ooh, this guy is a little too intense, a little too high energy, a little too driven, a little too, you know, a little too motivated. Yeah, like I want to scream, stop looking at me. I'm not a rich and famous pop star. I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire. Stop staring at me. Stop looking at me. Even if, and I feel like these people want to call the ambulance on me. They want to throw me in the hospital, but I'm like doing nothing wrong. I'm just going to the gym and working out. I feel like these people want to institutionalize me, even though I'm not doing anything wrong. It's like I'm just working out at the gym. I'm just shopping at the supermarket. And they just see my demeanor, my energy, and they don't like me. Somebody says, no, probably not. Nobody's probably paying attention to you at the gym. They're probably just focused on the bench press. And I hope you're right. I hope this is all delusions and psychosis. I hope this is all delusions and psychosis. Somebody says, I think you notice how off your when you're low on lower meds, your mental state around other people. You project they want to lock you up because you probably should be locked up in your mental state. Why should I be locked up? Giant big lighter. I'm not a danger to myself. I'm not a danger to others. I just feel like these people are unsettled by me. They're disturbed by me. They stigmatize me because I'm severely mentally ill, and they want to lock me up even though I'm doing nothing wrong. Why should I be locked up? I'm not going to hurt myself or hurt anybody else. I feel like they just don't like me. They're disturbed by me. And, frankly, I don't care if they like me or not. But they're like focused on me. Giant Big Letter says, I don't care if you're a danger to yourself or someone else. You're an under-medicated schizophrenic who just is around society. So what? I mean, if somebody has schizophrenia, does that mean they're not allowed to walk around society? I don't want to take tons of medication. And, if you're disturbed by me, that's your fault. Horn Dog says, yeah, just don't worry about these people. If they don't like me, let them not like me. Who cares? Don't worry about them. Just do my own thing, live my own life. And who cares if I'm the elephant in the room of every room I go into? Just go in there, unsettle people, disturb people, and who cares? Who gives a shit? I don't need to be liked. Somebody's suggesting doing drugs. No, that's a bad idea. Drugs and alcohol is a bad idea. Once in a while, I'll drink, but adding. I think I don't know why somebody would recommend that to me. I think it must be a troll. Yeah. I mean, obviously, abstain from drugs and alcohol. Obviously. So I'm getting Buffalo Wild Wings with a friend today. Giant Big Ladder says, why should the rest of society have to deal with your under-medicated state because you feel like it? What am I doing wrong, though, Giant Big Ladder? I'm just going to the gym and working out, and everybody's focused on me. It's kind of like I'm a celebrity, and everybody just wants to get to know me and is intrigued by me or disturbed by me. I feel like I'm like I have a spotlight on me. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing nothing wrong. I just feel like people just have a spotlight on me. Maybe it's spotlight syndrome. Somebody says, yeah, so you went to NAMI a few days ago. Interestingly enough, I had pizza at NAMI, and I think it got me sick for a day or two. I had like a bad sore throat and a runny nose. I'm better now. But yeah, there were some cute women there, and I was having bad anxiety about the cute women, and I only stayed for 20 minutes or so, and then I ran out of the NAMI room because the women were giving me anxiety, and I don't think that's normal at 38 years old to get such a panic attack by women. And I complain about being single and not meeting women. Meanwhile, here is a golden opportunity to socialize and chat with cute women, and you freak out and you leave and you go home. It's like yeah. I mean, so there was a golden opportunity to chat with cute ladies, and you freak out, you have a panic attack, and you leave. So that's obviously a problem. Somebody says, did you talk to your doctor, your psychiatrist about that? Yeah, I think that's an anxiety issue. And obviously, everybody would, obviously confirm and corroborate. I suffer from bad anxiety and panic attacks. That's pretty much well established. However, I think the other issues, the psychosis, the mood disorder, is often at the forefront, and people don't really pay attention to my crippling anxiety and agoraphobia because obviously the delusions are more attention grabbing issue. But yeah, no, everybody said no, we agree. You have anxiety, you have panic attacks, you have agoraphobia. Everybody agrees with that. It's just that the other issues tend to just be front and center. No, somebody says, "Did you make a big scene or walk out calmly?" No, some other people left after 20 minutes too, and they're like, "Oh, we got to go," and I'm like, "Oh, see you later, guys. Unfortunately, I'm feeling a little tired. Thanks for having me tonight. I'll be back soon." And I didn't make a big scene. I was very polite about it. I was very considerate about it. I didn't tell them the reason why I left either. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. Somebody's calling me. All right, peace out.